Welcome to the city of frost and fire. You're going to discover the authentic stories of the extraordinary people that define our north of normal metro. I'm Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. We've got Mike Binder, the owner of Tammy's Towel. Hello, Mike.
Good morning, Conrad. Thank you for having me.
Tammy's Towels, and it's Binder, not Binder.
It is Binder. I know there may be other families that go by the Binder, but we go by the Binder.
I said it right the first time, and then as I was reading it, I did want to say Binder. So you're right. You know, it's really difficult on live air to just say things the right way every time. I don't know what that is. But you are certainly Fargo famous. You've been around. You started name dropping as soon as you walked in here. Previous guests, you were talking about Tony Tilton.
We love Tony. With our business, we do some shows with him, and if you know Tony, you know he does like the Comic Cons, the Valley Cons, the Pop Expos, and that's just.
And he goes back. He's really connected in the community. So when did you meet Tony?
Oh man, it's probably been about 8 years. We met him over at Moorhead Mall. We had a little shop in there for a little bit with our product, and once we started doing the shows, you know, he does 3 to 4 a year that we just try to apply and get in, and it's fun. For the first time this year, we did movie judging for ValleyCon.
New things every year, all the time.
New things every year, and
so you were in the mall 8 years ago. Where did all of this begin? So Tammy's Towel, is this the first and only business you've ever run? Or it's just talking to you in the beginning, it sounds like your story goes way back.
Yeah, with the towels, the namesake is for my wife, Tammy.
Okay.
It's Tammy's Towels and More. I'm the and more. Okay. But, you know, her story goes back to, we do hand-drawn, hand-embroidered dish towels. And she was embroidering since she was 5. Grandma taught.
Oh, my goodness.
And the thing is, here within the last 10 years, she'd always do it for a hobby. When I'd be on duty at the fire station, that was her stress relief.
Okay.
But we started getting an accumulation of stuff. And then family members would ask, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? But it was primarily the accumulation of towels, you know, beside the wall. And we just kind of went.
Tammy's just embroidering and hand stitching things. This is her personal passion.
Yep.
And you are the and more. So, and I think Tammy's going to be on the show into the future. So I don't want to give Tammy's Towels short shrift. Okay. But almost it sounds, if she's the one who does all the embroidery, it sounds like that's her story.
Yep.
Where do you come in on it? Where did you meet Tammy? You were her.
Well, we met a week after the Vikings lost to the Falcons in 1998.
Was that with the field goal?
That was with the field goal. Yeah, which one isn't the field goal with the Vikings? But, you know, the one lost season, losing to the Falcons, and I was still drowning my sorrows.
That was at the NFC Championships, right?
Yep.
You have now taxed all of my sports knowledge,
right.
And that's all I know, just because it was so traumatic.
Up here, that's
like
not surprising.
Everybody.
That's the one you know, the most painful. But yeah, and we met, and she knew another. We had a common friend, and little did we know that we actually lived in the same type of apartment complex. I was in one building, she was in the other.
Oh wow!
And yeah, here we are.
And so you guys met, tragic beginnings, built a life together. When did you start doing business together? Was Tammy's Towels the first business that you guys did, or do you guys have a history of entrepreneurship?
No, since we met, I've either been on the fire department, and then on my off days, I would do other gigs with either fellow firefighters, you know, like shingling, cutting trees.
Oh, wow.
And then I'd get my own or apply at other jobs. I worked at Drivers when that first opened.
Staying busy.
Yeah, and then worked at CI Sport. And for the last 10 years, we've been custodians at our church. But for businesses, Tammy's Towels was, 8 years ago.
Whose idea was it?
I believe it was Tammy's.
Okay, so Tammy comes to you.
We just kind of spitballed. Hey, we got such a product. We should start a business.
Yeah.
And there we are. You get a table and put the towels out on the table, and away we went.
And so you guys have a commercial location. where you can buy the things at, or you're going to a lot of craft shows?
We go to a ton of craft shows.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And then we just sell out of our house. Our house used to be half business. I would say it's probably more at this point. But it's
Just
a business
overflowing.
that we sleep at.
You need to get a commercial space, maybe. I don't know.
That is a dream, but they don't give them away.
Yeah, that's also true. So first things first. But you're the and more. So if I show up to Tammy's Towels and I want the and more,
Right.
what items are available there?
I do laser-engraved bamboo.
Oh.
They're essentially cutting boards.
Whoa.
But the majority of people that buy them use them as a plaque or
Yeah.
a decoration on a shelf or a wall. And then we make games out of them. Now we're starting to do like leather flask, leather wallets, leather patch.
And this is all up with the laser? Where did you get this laser machine?
Got it online.
Yeah.
The reason we did that is because I got fired from the embroidery aspect.
By Tammy.
Yeah, I tried to help with the towels. I'm just not an embroiderer.
Yeah.
I got fired, but she's doing so well selling the towels. We just needed something else
Uh-huh.
because she's the only needle, and that takes a while to rebuild stock. So we needed something to fill, and the boards and the towels are a great fit.
And are you guys located in Fargo or Moorhead, or where do you?
Fargo?
Yeah. Is it best to just show up to your house then and knock on the door, or should we
Yeah, a
maybe
little advance
find you on
warning would be good.
find you on Facebook and make
Yeah,
a
Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Again, I'm the oldest. We tell our kids I was born in black and white because on our wedding collage, my baby picture is the only picture in black and white.
yeah.
And the only thing that holds us back on social media is us. But, there's so much to do that social media is one that usually gets pointed or gets shoved down a little bit. But sometimes, that's almost the most important to get out there.
Well, you never know where the connections are going to come from.
Right.
In fact, I met you through one of my real estate clients, right?
Right.
She's
Yep.
your niece.
Yeah, that's my niece.
And so that's you never know. You never know who's going to introduce you. And then I wonder, in your business, you have such a storied background. Again, just from talking to you, and you're wearing the hat. Yeah, you were a Marine.
Was in the Marines. I'm back from the Desert Shield, Desert Storm days. I was in from 88 to 96.
Okay.
My MOS, my military specialty was crash fire rescue.
Wow.
Got to go to Japan for a year.
Oh, fun.
Then I was stationed in South Carolina and then did some deployments. And then that's unfortunately when Saddam decided to go after Kuwait, and then got to go over there for 6 months. And by that time I was getting to the end of my time up, and I spent the last 4 years inactive. But it was right about that time. Do I stay in? Do I get out? And we chose to get out.
And it sounds like you hadn't had your fill of danger. You went from there into being a firefighter.
Yeah, I've never been claimed to be very smart. But no, it's stuff that I love.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just following your passions.
yeah, went into, again, the fire service. When I got out of the Marines, went back home to Jamestown, and they have a primarily volunteer department.
Mm-hmm.
They had a few full-time people, but those full-time people are just like day staff, 8 to 5.
Yeah.
And then you carry a pager all the time. So I spent my first year out being a volunteer. And then I got hired on full-time there in 93 and did more inspections, public education.
Yeah,
some
what's the
training.
day-to-day on that? I think most people, we've got maybe a picture from watching Ren and Stimpy or Frasier or something where
Well, that's pretty close. No.
Yeah, you're just sitting around and waiting, and then and then everything goes haywire, and then
Yeah, and here in Fargo, being full-time, it's different than when I was in Jamestown. You show up at 8. I would work with the inspector. The day is full of going out and doing fire inspections. And then at 5, you're off, and you just carry a pager. And when the pager goes off, everybody shows up. Drivers go get the fire trucks. Firefighters show up. One of the trucks has all your gear in it. So it shows up, you get dressed, and you fight fire. But here in Fargo, I mean, the demand is You show up, you check out the trucks, you clean the station, you hurry up and get breakfast, and then it's either, again, inspections. And as Fargo grows, that grows by hundreds, every year.
Oh, you're out there like inspecting new construction.
Yeah, as soon as the business opens, the fire department does have inspectors
Commercial
that see it
businesses.
through the
I see.
construction phase.
Okay.
But once it's occupied, and that's twofold. You're making sure it's fire safe, but when you're riding the fire truck, you get to go in and see these buildings if it's in your response area, and hopefully if something's happening, you can draw back on that inspection experience to, hey, I remember this room was here, or stuff like that.
That's fascinating.
But then there's training and medical training, fire training, water rescue, hazmat, drones. I mean, it's a busy day.
They keep you busy.
It's a busy day.
Well,
and then the runs.
Because I was always painted the picture both with military and firefighting, where it's very dangerous, obviously high danger situations, but there's a lot of waiting around as well. Would you say that that's characteristic at least of military, or maybe not so much with the Marines, or maybe not so much?
Well, the Marines would fill your time with cleaning.
Okay.
I mean, if there's you hated downtime in the Marine Corps. And
okay.
I'm not saying that to be mean. I love the Marine Corps, but that's that's what it was. You're cleaning or training, or sometimes you do them both. You clean, go out, get it dirty, come back and clean, go out, get it.
And you were still? Are you still doing the firefighting now, or are you?
No, I retired in 2022.
Okay.
33, 34 years was enough for me.
Well, congratulations. And that's when you've now moved up to shooting lasers.
Now I'm shooting lasers.
All right.
We just kind of rolled, and we were kind of doing that before I retired. We just had to limit the amount of shows we went out to, depending on my work schedule.
Yeah.
And now we're just having a ball with this business, going out and to these shows and visiting with people, seeing people. It's just awesome.
Staying connected and doing shows when we have one coming up, and that'll be our next segment. So that's a great segue. We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have Fargo Fun. So don't go nowhere.